Imagine standing near a gorgeous waterfall, taking in the view, and in a heartbeat you're swept away, never seen again. Hard to believe, right? But these Nigerian waterfalls, as stunning as they are, have witnessed some of the most shocking and tragic deaths. From flash floods to mysterious disappearances, the dangers lurking behind the beauty will leave you speechless. Curious to know what happened to those who dared to get too close? You won't want to miss these jaw-dropping stories. Number 1. The tragic dare of Charles Stevens. In the thrilling but dangerous history of Niagara Falls, one story stands out for its tragic outcome. Charles Stevens, a barber from Bristol, was known for his daring nature. At 58 years old, he decided to take on the mighty falls in a way that he believed was foolproof. In July 1920, Charles attempted a daring stunt that involved going over Niagara Falls in a barrel. This wasn't just any barrel. It was specially designed with an anvil at the bottom. Charles thought the anvil would keep the barrel upright and stable as it plunged into the churning waters below. However, his plan proved fatally flawed. As Charles and his barrel went over the edge of the waterfall, the sheer force of the descent turned the anvil from a stabilizer into a deadly weight. The barrel hit the rocks with such impact that it shattered, and the anvil's weight contributed to the devastating outcome. The aftermath was gruesome. Only Charles's right arm, still strapped to the harness inside the barrel, was recovered. The rest of his body was never found. This incident left a stark reminder of the unpredictable and often deadly power of nature. Charles Stevens's tragic end is a poignant chapter in the history of Niagara Falls. It serves as a grim warning to those who seek thrill without considering the potential consequences. His story is not just about the pursuit of adventure, but also about respect for nature's might and the importance of safety. Number 2. George Stathakis's fatal underestimation. In 1930, a daring but tragic event unfolded at the Nigerian Waterfalls. George Stathakis, aged 46, decided to challenge the mighty falls in a unique way. He wasn't just seeking thrill. George had deeper reasons. He wanted to share spiritual insights and perhaps find fame along the way. George chose a large barrel for his journey, thinking it would protect him. This barrel wasn't ordinary. It was equipped with oxygen tanks to help him breathe as he navigated through the turbulent waters. He even took his pet turtle along for the ride, showing his affection for his companion. However, the size of the barrel, which George thought would be his safety, turned into a trap. After plunging into the waterfall, the barrel got stuck in the powerful currents. It was trapped in a way that made it impossible to escape. The currents of the waterfall are notoriously unpredictable and strong, a fact that George underestimated. The real danger came from the oxygen supply. The tanks were meant to last for a sufficient time, but George remained trapped underwater longer than expected. After 22 hours, his oxygen ran out. Stuck in the barrel with no way to replenish the air, George suffocated, a victim of his own underestimation and the relentless force of nature. Miraculously, the turtle survived the ordeal. This survival is a bittersweet footnote to the story, highlighting the unpredictable outcomes when humans confront nature's might. George's story is a reminder of the waterfall's power and the risks involved in challenging it. His tragic end not only highlights the dangers of such stunts, but also serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of respecting natural forces. The incident left an indelible mark on the history of the falls, illustrating both human bravery and the fatal consequences of miscalculation. Number 3. The desperate last ride of Red Hill Jr. In 1951, a man named Red Hill Jr. faced a tough situation. He was dealing with money problems and wanted to live up to his family's reputation for daring stunts. Red Hill Jr. decided to take a risk to solve his issues and make a name for himself. He built a homemade contraption called The Thing. It was a risky design, put together with just inner tubes and fishing nets. Red Hill Jr.'s idea was to ride The Thing over the mighty Nigerian waterfalls. He hoped this would bring him fame and help him out of his financial troubles. Unfortunately, his plan turned out to be very dangerous. When he attempted the stunt, the thing wasn't strong enough to handle the powerful waters of the waterfall. It fell apart as it went over the falls. This tragic decision had a fatal outcome. Red Hill Jr. lost his life in this daring act. The next day, his body was found, showing the harsh reality of mixing desperation with danger. This incident left a deep mark on the local community and served as a grim reminder of the fall's power. Red Hill Jr.'s story is often brought up when discussing the risks people take for fame or to escape difficult situations. It's a sad tale that reminds us of the importance of thinking carefully about our actions and respecting natural forces that are far beyond our control. His attempt to conquer the falls with such a fragile vessel highlights the lengths to which individuals might go when pushed by difficult circumstances. Today, the story of Red Hill Jr. is remembered not just for the tragedy, but also as a cautionary tale about the perils of desperation and the unforgiving nature of nature itself. Number 4. Jesse Sharp's Vanishing Act. In 1990, a daring adventure turned into a tragic mystery at Niagara Falls, one of the most famous waterfalls in the world. Jesse Sharp, a highly skilled kayaker, decided to challenge the ferocious waters of Niagara Falls. Jesse was known for his exceptional skills in kayaking, but his decision to go over the falls in a canoe was both bold and dangerous. Jesse's plan was to paddle over the falls without wearing any safety gear like a helmet or life jacket. He believed that these safety items would make it harder for him to escape the water if he got trapped. This decision was against the advice of many experts and even went against the safety rules set by authorities. On the day of his attempt, Jesse was full of confidence. He got into his canoe, paddled strongly towards the falls, and aimed to conquer it. Witnesses saw him approach the edge, but as he went over, something went terribly wrong. Jesse's canoe tipped over the brink of the waterfall, and he vanished into the churning waters below. After his disappearance, search teams were quickly deployed to find him. They hoped to rescue Jesse or at least recover him to bring some closure. Tragically, while his heavily damaged canoe was later found near the base of the falls, Jesse himself was never seen again. The mystery of what exactly happened to Jesse Sharp remains unsolved to this day. He is presumed to have been overwhelmed by the powerful currents and possibly trapped beneath the falls. This incident serves as a haunting reminder of how unpredictable and dangerous nature can be, especially when not respected. Jesse's story is often retold as a warning to others about the risks of such stunts. It highlights the clash between human ambition and the raw power of nature. Despite his skills and confidence, Jesse underestimated the might of Niagara Falls, a decision that led to his tragic disappearance. Number 5. Robert Overacker's skydiving disaster. In 1995, a tragic incident unfolded at the waterfalls when Robert Overacker, aiming to spotlight the issue of homelessness, took a daring leap that ended fatally. Robert, who was 39 years old, decided to jet ski over the edge of the falls. His plan was to deploy a parachute as he separated from the jet ski, creating a spectacle that he hoped would draw attention to his cause. As spectators watched, Robert sped across the water and off the falls. This was not just a stunt for thrills. He genuinely wanted to make a significant impact and raise awareness for homeless people. His family and friends knew of his passion for helping others, and this event was supposed to highlight that commitment. However, as Robert descended over the falls, a critical failure occurred. His parachute, which was essential for a safe landing after such a high fall, did not open. Without the parachute to slow his fall, Robert hit the water below with tremendous force. The impact was devastating and, sadly, lethal. Onlookers were shocked, the excitement turning into horror as they realized the parachute had failed. Emergency services were called immediately, but the currents and the mist from the powerful falls made the rescue efforts extremely challenging. It wasn't until the following day that Robert's body was recovered from the turbulent waters below the falls. This heartbreaking incident serves as a stark reminder of the risks involved in performing stunts at such dangerous locations. While Robert's intentions were noble, his tragic death highlights the ultimate price he paid in his attempt to bring attention to homelessness. The story of his fatal jump remains a sobering testament to the limits of human daring and the unforgiving nature of such extreme acts. Number 6. Kirk Jones's fatal second attempt. Kirk Jones, a man known for his bold stunts, first made headlines in 2003 when he survived a dangerous jump off the Niagara Falls completely unprotected. In what seemed like a miracle, he emerged from the waters below relatively unscathed, capturing the attention of the world. His survival was a rare event. Most do not survive such a daring feat at one of the world's most powerful waterfalls. Despite the risks, in April 2017, Kirk decided to challenge the falls once again. This time, his plan was even more daring. He intended to go over the falls inside a large inflatable ball, an orb big enough to fit him and, unbelievably, his pet python snake. The idea was to add an extra layer of protection and perhaps a bit of sensationalism with the inclusion of his snake. The authorities and those familiar with the sheer power and danger of Niagara Falls immediately saw this attempt as even more hazardous than his first. The falls, known for their powerful and unpredictable currents, do not discriminate in their natural force, whether one approaches them with protective gear or not. When Kirk went ahead with his plan, he vanished into the churning waters of the falls, and neither he nor his inflatable ball were seen immediately following the stunt. It was a tense and uncertain uncertain time as search and rescue teams worked tirelessly, hoping to find him alive. Unfortunately, the outcome this time was tragic. Months after his disappearance, in June 2017, Kirk's body was recovered from the river downstream. The exact circumstances of his death remain unclear, but it was evident that the mighty falls, with their overwhelming power, had claimed his life. His snake was also never found, adding a sad note to an already heart-wrenching event. Kirk's repeated attempts to conquer Niagara Falls speak to a deeper, perhaps compulsive drive to defy the odds. His story is a somber reminder of the raw power of nature and the perilous consequences of underestimating it. It also highlights the importance of respecting natural boundaries and the laws put in place to protect both individuals and the environment from such needless tragedies. Thank you for watching. These stories show just how beautiful but unpredictable nature can be. What are your thoughts on these tragedies? Share them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss more amazing stories like this. See you in the next one.